federal policy. The candidate wearing the Libertarian label has definite views. CNN's Mark Leff reports it's a candidacy with some support.
Ron Paul is over his first hurdle. He's already won his party's nomination, beating American Indian activist Russell Means and two other candidates at the party's convention in September. He got to his present position by being a three-term conservative Republican congressman from Texas, then by quitting the Republican Party because it wasn't conservative enough.
We're at a stage now where the radical, liberal, Democratic big spenders call Ronald Reagan a big spender. There's something wrong.
So far, Paul and his party haven't been big spenders. Through October, they'd raised less than 10% of their $5 million goal. Paul supports the Libertarian Party's individualistic approach on labor relations.
We don't deal with people in groups. We deal with only one item, one group, the smallest group, the true minority. That's the individual.
And on foreign policy.
We do not act in a confrontational way with our enemies, so to speak. We come back and we bring our troops home and we defend ourselves, but we don't go looking for a fight like we've been doing throughout this century.
Where he does differ with the party platform is on abortion. The 52-year-old obstetrician gynecologist personally opposes it. The party is officially pro-choice. He says when asked, he'll state the party's position and his own, and point out that libertarians disagree. Mark Leff, CNN, reporting.
And we welcome you, Ron Paul, to Inside Politics.
Thank you.
Your reaction when you get criticism for your candidacy?
Haven't heard too much. I've heard nothing but encouragement, and I've been very, very pleased and surprised at it. But I think it's natural. I think that the Republicans and the Democrats have done such a wonderful job. People are so disillusioned that they're really looking for something, and I think they're going to be looking at the Libertarians this year.
Getting any converts?
Daily. Matter of fact, I am very pleased no matter where we go. I think there's a hidden agenda out there. I think there's a lot of people out there, fellow travelers. They're true libertarians. It's natural. It's logical. It's American. It's constitutional. I've been very impressed and very pleased.
How could you go from the Republican Party representing the 22nd District in Texas, the Houston area, to becoming a libertarian with the views that are so utterly different?
Well, it isn't utterly different because all you have to do is look at the voting record. My voting record was unique. It was very constitutional. It followed my promise, my pledge to obey the Constitution. So therefore, it was a libertarian voting record. And clearly, a short time after I arrived in Congress, most of the members knew there was something different. I was at times voting with the liberals on civil liberties and with the conservatives on economic liberties. And therefore, it's very logical. We put the whole concept of freedom back together again. So it was not a radical departure.
Did you get into trouble with the Republican leadership in the House?
No, not really. Matter of fact, I consider them all my friends.
Fundraising. Mark Leff reports you've only raised 10% of your $5 million goal. Where are you now?
Well, we've raised approximately $500,000, but we probably have more money in the bank than some of the other candidates who have borrowed a lot of money. I think if you notice, some of the candidates in the Republican and Democratic parties have borrowed a lot of money. They're in debt. They're using the taxpayers' money. We run a tight ship, and we get a lot more money for our dollar.
Issues. You say that you would immediately eliminate, wipe out the federal deficit by slashing programs across the board.
Sure, that would be the way to do it. If you didn't have a logical Congress that maybe would cut the aid and foreign aid to Japan first, I think it would make more sense to bring a bunch of troops home and stop giving Japan a $45 billion subsidy every year.
What would you do about Social Security?
Well, I think Social Security certainly can be worked out in a transition program, but I think it's important that people know the truth. That's the most important thing. The system...
Would you cut Social Security?
Social Security should be cut, yes, but people should know that it's bankrupt and it's a Ponzi scheme and that young people ought to have the right to plan for their own future because the government isn't doing a very good job for
Now,
them.
before we go any further, if you cut Social Security, you know what Ronald Reagan and the Republicans went through. When that was talked about, they denied that they had intentions of cutting it. Do you think you would be elected president?
I think there's a very good chance that I could rally everybody under 30 because they know they're not going to get anything out of it. And it's a regressive tax, and they're probably going to raise Social Security in this next tax increase that we're getting.
Last question. Are you on the ballot where?
We're in the ballot on about 24 states. We intend to be on all 50. We were on all 50 in 1980, and we plan to do it again. We plan to give the American people a choice this time. I think they're sick and tired of what they're getting.
Ron Paul, thanks for being with us on Inside Politics. More on Inside Politics 80.